I've finished a lot of music. I've written a lot of music. I've composed a lot of music. I started out writing duets, actually. I wrote clarinet duets, and I also wrote songs for solo piano. I've written some symphonies, actually. So for a full orchestra with all the instruments and the strings and the horns, everything you can imagine, right? A full-on symphony, I know. Those take a while because you got to write out all the parts and you got to compose it, and it's crazy. Never got to have an orchestra perform it, unfortunately. But not to get sidetracked in the first minute of the video here. Here are 3 of the most important lessons that I've learned making all that music. The first lesson is that music isn't gonna finish itself. You have to make sure that you sacrifice some of the fun that you're having for the craftsmanship, the craftsmanship of your craft. Let me explain. Why do we make music? Well, we have a calling to create music, right? We love to make music. We love to come up with ideas. We love to compose, to produce, to create. But if we really care about our craft, we have to commit to ourselves that we're going to advance in our craft in some manner, right? Ooh, it's cold. I love it though. I love the cold. We got to commit to ourselves that we're going to advance our craft, which means we have to at times sacrifice some of the fun that we're having so that we can actually make progress. And this is something you might call discipline or a good habit. But really, at a certain point when we're making our music, if our goal is to get better, we really need to say, okay, I'm going to finish this song. I'm going to give it a structure. I'm going to decide to keep it moving and not get stuck in an 8-bar loop or in a certain section of the song. I'm going to keep it moving so that I finish it, so that I can advance my skill set in the long term. This is something I definitely had to learn the hard way. When I first started making electronic music, I would spend so long on singular songs. I'd be working on one song for 70 or 80 hours. I'd be working on a song for a month at a time. And because music is something that I care about and cared about at the time, and not just cared about, but something I wanted to get good at, something I wanted to advance my skills with, this was something that negatively impacted me because I didn't learn as much as I could have by finishing the song. And that brings me into the second thing I've learned, which is consistency. It sounds so cliche, but consistency in every part of the process is what is going to take you the farthest. We want to make sure we are consistent with doing every part. So that's the songwriting, the arrangement of our tracks, and the composition, the melody writing. And throughout that entire process, are we doing the things that we need to be doing to have a song? Are we choosing a good melody? Are we choosing a melody that's catchy that we can hum back afterwards, something your mom would remember, something that's not overly complicated? Are we writing songs, or are we writing 8-bar loops? What are we doing consistently? These things are going to compound over time. I'm sure you're aware of the power of habit. And so we want to make sure that with each song that we make, with each musical composition that we make, that we are doing the important things consistently, with consistency. Producing it yourself, mixing it yourself, mastering it yourself, finishing the song yourself. And this is the best way that we can advance our skill and get to the next level with our music and make something that is of professional quality. And I think the third thing that I've learned, the third lesson that I'll share, probably the most important one, is there are always going to be a ton of other people that you can compare yourself to, and you only want to compare yourself in certain ways. Let me explain. So we can learn a lot by listening to other people's music, and we should do that. If you make electronic music, if you're a house music producer, let's say, you should be listening to house music so you can learn about the genre. And then in that sense, you want to compare your music to other people's music, right? Oh, his track is louder, or oh, this artist you really admire is doing this thing in this way that you're not doing, and it's impacting your quality in a negative way. But You're never going to be a better or worse person because of your music. Someone isn't better than you because their music's better. Someone isn't better than you because they're further along in their career or they have more followers. And I think this is a trap that I fell into time and time again. I still fall into it sometimes, to be honest. And we just have to come out of that and say, I am grateful for what I am making. I am grateful for the opportunity to produce what I am producing. And simply learn to admire other people for their music. And then also learn from them in the way that I mentioned, where we're picking out songs in our genre to learn from. And we're looking at the things that we are missing, and then we start doing those things, but we're not saying, oh, like he's so good, I wish I could be like him. No, we are good ourselves. We are worthy ourselves. We make music ourselves, and we each have our own unique gifts and talents. We each are here for our own beautiful reason, and we're all different, and that's great. It's supposed to be like that. And so you don't want to compare yourself to others' journeys, because we're all on different steps. We all have different gifts. We're all unique. And yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you today. So 3 things to keep in mind as you make music, as you finish songs, as you progress in your journey. And I hope this helps you, seriously. Leave a comment if you have any questions, or if you're curious about anything, or if you want to hear me talk about anything in particular. I'd be happy to hear more.